So we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. After the summer vacation break, we are back with a very, very informative session. So this is a series on MSME finances and also registrations. Uska importance or hum apne just a sec. Yeah. So this is a series of sessions with the expert Jayshree ma'am. ये उस series में second session है ma'am के साथ and very very informative session for members of cafe because most of us are homepreneurs and we want to now get into the league of MSME जहाँ पर कि हम इसको लीगलाइज करके अपने जो बिजनेस हम घर से चला रहे हैं उसको लीगलाइज करके नेक्स्ट लेवल पर ले जा सकते हैं. So I asked Nisha, who introduced Jayshree ma'am to cafe, to send her profile to me and I received a 4-pager from her. तो पूरा तो नहीं पढ़ूंगी Jayshree ma'am, but
no, not at all.
तो सिर्फ जो आपके मुझे जो एकदम बोल्ड किया हुआ है ना कि you've trained more than 1200 business leaders and startups, which is commendable, and assisted 100 plus MSME for subsidy and various permissions. And we would like to be now amongst those numbers in your increasing number of clients, so that our members also get the benefit of MSME registrations and all the subsidies and other benefits the government is providing. So today's topic is again on MSME and the small finances we can raise around it. So I will now request Jayshree ma'am to take it up, and we are thankful to the Karnataka team for bringing this most informative series of sessions from such an expert like ma'am, who's like wholeheartedly giving us all the knowledge and information she has about the subject. So thank you Nisha and Purvi and Bhavika for bringing this to the entire cafe fraternity. And thank you, Jayshree ma'am, for your time and your sharing of knowledge. Thank you so much, ma'am. So over to you now.
Thank you so much, Kavita. It was wonderful interacting in the first session with all the members. And the cafe members have been like curious also and to understand the things also. And after the session also, I've been getting repeated calls of certain inquiries that needs to be addressed. Right. In fact, thank you so much for Nisha also to introducing me to such a wonderful homepreneurs become entrepreneurs.
Yes, absolutely,
so,
ma'am.
A brief, I'm the director of ANGC Group, which is a business consulting group. We consult all the business owners, be it homepreneurs, be it women entrepreneurs, be it a small business owner also, right from the scratch of even getting a PAN card or an Udyam registration or an Aadhaar card to the commencement of the business, be it in that the finance or anything. That's the level of consultancy we are doing. Like you said, I have 1200 MSMEs trained. My target is by 2030, we should have 1 lakh women entrepreneurs trained and into the market.
That's
a huge, and that's a Herculean task also. But I think with all the efforts of all around, we all will be able to achieve that.
Absolutely.
So let's move on with today's topic. Today's topic is MSME registration, or we call it as the Udyam registration. In different places, it's called different names, but majorly in the central government or any government organization, it is known as the MSME registration. So what are you all able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Today, what we are going to cover in this 1 hour is the Udyam or the MSME certificate or the registration, the documents that is required for this registration, and what are the benefits that we earn as an homepreneur you derive out of this certification as to why it is important, and the small financing. To have a business running, you need to have small funds, maybe a 5 lakh rupees or a 10 lakh rupees, as to how we can get ahead and go ahead with the small financing part. So these are the 4 topics majorly we will be covering. of that Udyam registration, the MSME registration, and the utility of that registration would be the key. Okay, so understanding first as to what is an MSME registration. The medium, small, and the miscellaneous enterprises which is there, the manufacturing industries, or the small, even for that matter, a parlor owner or a manufacturer of even pickles, or anybody should go in for a MSME registration, because it is a Government of India registration portal to streamline, to digitize India, all the entrepreneurs. It is known as the Udyam registration or MSME registration. And this certificate has a very unique number which is given to an entrepreneur.
Ma'am, just one question here.
Yeah.
So there is no minimum sales requirement, or even with the zero revenue, you can register
Yes,
for
we
MSME?
can go in for it with a zero revenue also.
Okay.
Okay. The micro, small, and the medium enterprises can go in with a zero. This is an approval, or this is a unique identification that you are a MSME registered entrepreneur. So there is no limit to any value. Anybody can go in for it. So this certificate is essential to get a legal documentation, a legal authorization that you are a Ministry of MSME, Government of India registered MSME who can do a micro, small, and a medium businesses running. So this is that a small Udyam certificate or a MSME certificate. Is everybody clear as to what a MSME certificate is all about?
Yes. Yes.
And if there is any doubt coming in, you can just type it into the chat box so that I'm able to answer it as we go. So what are the eligibility that comes in? What are the why an MSME is needed is any of the three categories. The micro can be 1 to 5 lakh rupees. The small 5 to 15 lakh, and the medium can be from 15 to 25 to up to even now 50 lakhs is considered as a medium enterprises. So you have to fall into any of these categories. Even a 50,000 owner person, a business entrepreneur, can be a MSME registered person. So there is no restrictions on that. Okay. Then various things that comes in is like if a person is more than 25 crores or more than 5 crores, should they go in for an MSME registration? Yes, they should also go in for a registration. Micro enterprises with a turnover of up to 5 crores or 20 crores or 250 crores should go in for a MSME registration. And there is no restrictions, no value foundations, no limits for a MSME registration. They have to be like needed that, yes, this is what a MSME registered a company is, and they need to do the business. There is no restrictions on it, and they can, I'll just, yeah. Then, very important, here we have to be very careful as to what we are doing. That is the registration documents. See, I'll once the session is done, I'll in the on the online portal also, I will show you as to how an MSME registration is done. But then in your system, you have to have these documents ready. The PAN of the organization. Like last time we discussed that there can be a proprietary firm. there can be a partnership firm, or there can be a private limited firm. So even if you are a proprietary firm, then it's the individual's PAN card that is to be there. So the individual PAN card has to be taken into consideration. If it's a partnership, then both the partners, and if it's a private limited company, the PAN card of the partners as well as of the company. Clear? Then the GST certificate. If you are into business, you can go in for the GST certification, so that you know that, okay, GST is required to do any kind of a business. For an MSME registration also, a GST is mandatory. Then the copy of the entrepreneur's Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card, the PAN card and the GST all should be linked together, so that we are having the same mobile number and the same identification and the same numbers. The social category of the person, the general or the any other privileged category, the phone number, the email address, and once you're filling the business commencement date. See, the company can be, if it's a private limited company, I can form the company in the month of January or December of 22, but I can commence my business in the month of August 23. There can be a gap, but the gap can also be realized that a manufacturing setup takes time to get the plant and machinery. So the commencement date need not be same as the registration of the company. Then the account number of the company, the IFSC code. In the account number, remember that whenever you are doing a business, you should have the company's account number and a company's account. If it's a proprietary firm, you can use your saving account number as the accounting numbers and the saving. But it is always advisable to go in for an individual company account number in the company's name itself. The number of employees, the male and the female, the nature of the business, what he or she is into, and if it's not an if it's an old company, the latest audited financial balance sheets. If it's not there also, it is not important. It can be registered without the way as a new organization. When you're registering, it can be. So these documents are very important for any organization to register under a MSME. You can take a screenshot and save it with you. Done? Till here clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's move ahead with the benefits.
Ma'am, can we have the name of the website where they need to register?
MSME registration. Okay,
that is the name of the.
Yeah, just a minute. I'll just share with you. Once again, let me stop sharing this. You can, all of you can see the site.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So this is when I typed in, I'll go one step back. So when in the Google, I just searched MSME registration. It said MSME registration, Udyam. This is what I clicked. And this is the form. Okay. It's very clearly says as to what all to write and how it is to be done. A very simple form to do.
So eudyam.com.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, I had a query. Is it mandatory for us to have GST to file to get Udyam registered?
Your voice is not audible, Nisha.
Ma'am, she wants to ask about GST. Yes,
GST
Nisha?
now it is mandatory, Nisha. Because every business has been linked with GST now. See, if you look at the form also in front of you, GST or UIN exist. See this?
So what if you put no?
If you put no, then it will ask reasons and all. But then it will say that by when you will get it.
Achha. Reason being, most of us are homepreneurs and solopreneurs.
Yes.
So I am not so sure if all of us.
So once you're giving the reason, if it is less than 25 lakhs, you can mention that the turnover is not there, it's a new company. But then you will be monitored. You again, every year when you renew it, no, they will ask you the turnover.
Okay.
Okay.
So let us possible. The only thing is we'll be under scrutiny.
We can be what?
It is possible, which means, but we.
Yeah, it is possible, but then during the renewal time, they will again ask you.
Okay.
After 2 renewals, they will say that no, GST is mandatory.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now my PPT is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
So these are the things that is required for the Udyam registration. Now coming to the various benefits that is derived out of the Udyam. And this is why an Udyam registration or the MSME registration is very important. The first is the various loans that you take, the various grants or the various, for any kind of a business, you require money, right? If you are a MSME registered entrepreneur going in for a loan, the rate of interest is less. Like if in normal cases, a person is charged 9% or 10%, and MSME will be charged 1% less than the other person. So that is an advantage. Then there are various subsidies attached to it. Like there is a very simple home scheme for Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, PMEGPY. In that, 3% subsidy is given to a person who's already having a MSME registration. So these are the benefits that is derived for the banking loans that you take place. And if you're MSME registered, small amounts can be got without the collateral also. Like Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana is for 50 lakhs without the collateral. But what we have observed is like banks do not go in for 50 lakhs without collateral. They at least give you 10 to 15 lakh rupees without collateral to start up your business and to show as to what kind of a business you're doing. And as you grow, the bank also provides support that, okay, a women entrepreneur is growing, and as a women entrepreneur, you get 3% more advantage from the bank and other facilities also. The more you learn about these facilities and advantages, you will understand more. This is one part, that is the loan. The next is the various registrations, approvals, and licenses. The first and foremost, the GEM registration. That is the portal for government purchases. That there is a GEM registration that is done. In that GEM registration, if you're an MSME and you're a startup, you will get much privileges, like it is easy to register. Plus, of the government orders, you get certain number of orders which comes directly to the MSME and the women entrepreneurs. And if you are a startup, then 25% of the government orders will come to the startups also. Clear? So, and suppose you're going in for a trademark or a license, like a factory license, or you're going in for export license. When you are an MSME registered, these licenses are easily done when the MSME registrations are there. Otherwise, you will have to do much more documentation than a normal routine work for an MSME, because your MSME registration will have all the details into it. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Then
we have the international trade that receives the various functions, like if you're going to host an exhibition, say you're participating in an exhibition of Dubai. If you're MSME registered, then you are to and fro. And if you're putting up a stall, 80 to 75 to 80%, even up to 90% of the stall expenses are borne by the MSME department. Like if many of you would have, I think Nisha would know that she had been for this MSME meet in Bhopal. So if she had put up a stall, the stall charges and the traveling charges was borne by the MSME. So that is the advantage in the international fairs also, as well as the domestic fairs, that if you are an MSME registered, then you will get special considerations as far as entrepreneurs are concerned.
Ma'am, for these fairs, the fairs have to be organized by the government itself, right?
Yeah.
Not private fairs.
No, even in the private fairs, you have to submit a proposal to the government that this is the fair you're going to participate, and you can do. Like the one which me and Nisha got associated was a private fair. That was Mave did it. So it was a private, but most of the stall owners who were participated, the women entrepreneurs, got the reimbursement from MSME because they participated, being it a private participation also.
That's wonderful.
Yes, so these are the advantages in national as well as international. Yes, Nisha, you're saying something.
Isn't it called the PMS scheme of MSME?
आज आपकी आवाज बहुत दूर से है, आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Isn't it called the PMS scheme of the MSME department?
Is this called PMS scheme? No.
Which scheme?
PMS.
What is that?
I don't know. I mean, somebody was saying that it's called as a PMS scheme.
It MSME, various schemes for MSMEs are there for funding of exhibitions. Various names are given here. Every day there will be a new name given to a new. It will be like you hold your nose from front or you go come around. It's the same way. There is a new learn, like you had the skill development. Now it is known as Learn and Earn, MMSK. So there will be new things coming up. So don't go with the words. There is facilities that look into the facilities.
Right.
Then the advantage of, again, another one, MSME on various electricity bills. You know, an MSME, a women MSME will get 1% deduction in the rebate, the total unit. Like suppose the unit per unit charge for any other industry is say 3 rupees, and MSME owner and a women owner will get 1 rupee discount. So it will be 2 rupees. That is a 1% discount is given. So there is a lot of benefits that is got on electricity bills also. Like when you're taking the electricity connection also, there is a lot of discounts which is given to the MSMEs. This is not given to any other business owners. Then there is this credit-linked capital subsidy, which is also registered, given to the registered organizations of MSME. Like if you're taking a PMEGPY loan, 3% direct subsidy is given. That it's a credit-linked capital subsidy. Similar way, if you're organizing or you're setting up an industry, maybe a small-scale industry of making namkeens. So the plant and machinery which has been bought and the shed or the RCC that has been constructed, there will be a credit-linked subsidy that will be given to the entrepreneur once that entrepreneur is registered with MSME. And very important, this MSME registration or the certificate has to be there. So always remember that whenever you're registering your organization, the moment you say that I'm going into business, make a plan of the business and then get this certificate, MSME, very importantly. Then the ISO certifications which we take, you know, we all have to tell us that we are maintaining a quality, we are maintaining a process of doing the things. So we get to have the ISO certificate. Once we are going in for the ISO certification, the fees of the ISO is reimbursed by the MSME department. I think Nisha would have got it if she has gone into, anybody who's gone into, Nisha, did you get this ISO certification fee reimbursed? You got your trademark reimbursed. Yeah, your trademark, your ISO, your copyright, or any of those certifications which you go in for, that is reimbursed by the government to a certain amount because you are MSME registered. So this ISO certificate registration, because ISO is today mandatory for majority of the industries, because then the quality and the marketing becomes easier. So that's how it goes. Then there is another very important thing that normally an entrepreneur comes across or has a challenge, that is the protection against delayed payments or supplied services. Like, suppose I am an MSME and I had applied and given an order worth, say, 10 lakh rupees to somebody, an XYZ company, and that XYZ company is not paying me for more than 6 months, then I can approach the MSME department and go and file a complaint in the MSME department against that client ABC for non-payment of the supplied goods or the services, and MSME department will take necessary steps to get the payment released. So, and this is very important, because today the protection against delayed payments is one of the toughest challenges which every entrepreneur is facing. So he or she has this access that he or she can just go and protect themselves against the delayed payments. Then this I already spoke about. Then the various special reservations that come through in this mechanism of manufacturing. Today we all are celebrating this year as a millet year. So a lot of women entrepreneurs are there into millet cookies, millet ready-to-eat cereals. And under this production, if you need to say that the orders then that will come through these women entrepreneurs from various agencies, be it national or international, MSME registered member, and that too, if he or she, if she is a women entrepreneur, gets the preference over others. Like, I have a startup registered who she is into millet cookies and organic cookies, which is does not have gluten, as well as she's also using sugar free, that is no sugar into it, it is natural sugars. And she's an MSME registered, a startup registered. She is getting continuous orders from Thailand and Indonesia worth 20 lakh rupees every month. So among all the people who had applied for that, who had gone for the exhibition, she being an MSME registered and a startup registered, she got that preference. So this reservation always happens for an MSME registered and who is also a startup. So understand that MSME registration gives and opens up a lot of avenues which normally people don't even think of. Then there is this exemption from direct tax. Direct tax is the GST. That is up to 40 lakhs are exempted from GST registration. So today, right now, which Nisha had asked, no, that if we are not registered into the GST, whether the MSME will get a GST, will get the registration in MSME done. They will, but then up to 40 lakhs, they have to be, they will be exempted. Beyond 40 lakhs, they need to go in for a GST certificate. So moment you are MSME registered and your business is showing as a turnover is showing into the company, then post 40 till 40 lakhs, MSMEs are exempted. So you can have a tax holiday on this aspect also. Till here, am I clear? This is all the benefits that you can take it from MSME being registered.
Yes, ma'am. And I think you had covered this in last session also, right?
A few of them.
Few of them, yes.
Because there were the questions that were coming up, no?
Right. This GST thing is still not clear to me. I think without GST certificate, this MSME registration is not happening, because I was also trying to do it, but it's not happening.
They see, right now GST is made mandatory whenever you try to do it, but then you have to go to the department of MSME and then tell them that my turnover is not, I'm just starting up with it, and then you have to give them an application that further when you grow your business you will go in for a GST number, then they register it. They do it, but on a later date. Yeah.
Jayshree ma'am, like in this present slide that you've written,
Nisha, we can't hear you. Can you be a little closer to the device?
Yeah. So if as ma'am had mentioned, additionally MSMEs can also avail income tax benefits such as lower rate of corporate tax, investment allowance and deductions, etc. for R&D. So how do we apply for? How, I mean, like, suppose if I have a turnover of 20 lakhs. So then how do I, avail income tax benefits and, lower rates? How do I avail of these?
Yeah, when you are an MSME registered organization, are you a startup registered?
No, but I think I should Startup India. I'm planning to.
Yeah, if you are going for a Startup India registered, then it becomes much more easier than an MSME registered. In MSME registration also, you can go to the portal of MSME, and once you are applying into your chartered accountant, tell him or her that you are an MSME registered and this is the registration number. So the exemption that is given to a MSME registered member needs to be added into your income tax computation. So your chartered accountant can do that. That is in your balance sheet. But in a startup, what you have to do is, when you are a startup registered, then you have to go to the Startup India site and get it done from there. So there are two differences, because now the government is promoting more of MSME startups. So in the startups, you have to go to the MSME department's Startup India site. And in the Startup India site, there is a tax exemption column wherein you have to upload your ITRs. And then once the ITRs are uploaded, they will give you an exemption certificate.
Okay, and it would be passed on as a subsidy? I mean, would it come as a reimbursement, or it would
as a reimbursement? As a reimbursement. As a reimbursement. They don't put it as a subsidy now. Okay.
So, ma'am, how do we qualify as a startup? Because the idea that we are working on is not innovative. So
you can add a little innovation to it. No, there will be in jewelry that can be a lot of innovation that can be added on. See, it is only, you know how to get it done. That we can have a one-to-one on it, because it's only the words. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you face a challenge with startup registration, tell me, I'll do that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Because it's the words. It's how you're showing that your company is doing a startup and its company is innovative idea. See, there are multiple jewelries that is innovative. Tata's Mia has become as an innovator, but is Mia's design innovation? It's the same routine ones. There is nothing new, but it's a startup. Similar way, if I talk about sugar is startup registered, but sugar lipsticks or face
the products are all the same.
All the same, but it's only how you present it. Are we not having organic cookies and organic sugar-free cookies right now in the market? There are many.
Yeah.
But it's how you put that which millet and how much proposition and how much composition you're going to do it. It's upon the words that you do it. So that's how it goes.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Meenakshi, if you're asking, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Yeah, now it's okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Like while registering for the MSME thing, if we go wrong about the product that we manufacture, is there a process by which we can change that?
Yes, there is an edit process and there is a column where you can go and change your product category also.
Can you show that on the website, please? Because I have done this and I'm
Huh.
not being able to.
Okay. Just a minute. For that, I have to do the entire registration. Once the entire registration is done, then there will be an edit column. You have to go and do the edit part of it.
Okay. But I already have the Udyam number now.
You
After
already
that,
have the Udyam number.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
see in the Udyam number also.
Hmm.
Just a minute, I'll just show you. You can update. Okay. When I'm doing the update part of it, it will
Yeah.
show me the changes that needs to be done.
Okay.
Then you can.
Okay, there I can change the.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
The
Thank
business
you.
activity and all. You're
Thank you
updating
so
it.
much. Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, my screen is visible to all of you now.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we will forward on for the next part, that is the financing part of it. So is the screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The various small finances that can take place is how we can all do it. The first thing is the personal savings that you can take up with. So because once you are doing a personal saving, everybody you know that have a small saving that can be taken up, right? Normally, people with little bit of a savings, maybe a 5,000 or a 10,000 or a 20,000, can look forward to some of the savings that is done personally. This is one small financing which you can do. Like if you go to a bank and ask for a loan of say 1 lakh rupees, they will say immediately deposit 25,000. So 25,000 normally can be taken care of from our own small finances. So in this small bank finance part of it, the personal savings are one of the biggest assets. Then another, I'm not coming across with the government part of it. I'm coming slowly to the government part of it, understanding first from the personal front also. The friends and the family that can be taken up. That is, you can take money from your friends and families because it's a low budget, low cost that will be involved into it, and the risk would be lesser to the family and the friends because you're starting up your business. So instead of taking a huge amount, we can start up from a family and friends. This is another way. The third is most of us have credit cards, right? Has anybody thought of taking a loan on your credit card and repaying it in an installment basis? That can be done. Like I'll share myself a very good classic example that in one of the educational part, I wanted to take a loan and my card had a limit of say 1 lakh rupees. So I went and used my 1 lakh as a loan from my own credit card. So it is coming as 17,000 every month, and my credit card limit is also being taken care of. And in this process, what I have also done is I have enhanced my CIBIL, because what happens with the women entrepreneurs is the CIBIL score is not there because we are not banking. We are not using credit cards. We are not buying anything in such a card manner that you'll have a changeover. So that is important, that you can do a credit card facility of loan. Another is a very important aspect, which also the startups take care of, that is the crowdfunding. How crowdfunding? Like I have almost like say 18 participants right now. So I know that, okay, there I need 5 lakh rupees for my project. What I'll do is, from in the project itself, I'll make a bifurcation that, okay, I'm going to save from 5 lakh investment, I'm going to save 1 lakh rupees. Of that fund, 1 lakh, how am I going to distribute my profit? So I take, say, 50,000 from Kavita, 25 from Nisha, say 1 lakh from Purvi, and multiple people for the same cost. I take various small amounts. And from my return, when I get the profit out of it, I will distribute my profits also to them in that appropriate ratio which I have taken. So this way, a crowdfunding helps a lot of entrepreneurs to develop their business and grow their business. Then another is the small business loans. The small business loans can be taken from non-NBFCs, that is, non-banking financial institutions, banking institutions, including all banks, the private and the nationalized banks, But then when you're going to the bank discussing about your project, make a small project report so that you are able to talk to them, convey to them, and be a part of that project. The banker should be able to understand that, yes, you are keen for this project and you want to go ahead with this project. So you should have a good business plan for banking loans, for a business loan. Then a very important aspect, which is everywhere known these days, is the angel investors. Can anybody share with me who an angel investor would be? Anybody? An angel investor can be any one of you. Anybody who's got a little fund, extra funds to help develop another entrepreneur who wants to grow. Like, suppose Richa wants to start a business and she wants somebody to invest, and Nisha says that she requires only 2 lakh rupees. Nisha has some extra 2 lakh rupees with her. So Nisha gives Richa that 2 lakh rupees with some amount of share of the business, what she's going to do with the 2 lakh rupees. So that is known as the angel investor. As the word suggests, that they come as angels. Yes, they come as angels to help you out. So these are like these. There are small investors into the market who help those entrepreneurs to grow with small amount. There are angel investors up to 5 crore also. But then it's a huge project. Then the equity of the company, the startup project, everything has to be on that larger level and a growth factor of it. So it has to be on a different line. Then the venture capitalists. See, venture capitalists is one which I would say that in the small financing, huge investment is not needed. It's not required. Like, suppose any one of you has a company and a venture capitalist is ready to invest in 25 lakhs of rupees into your company. He or she would like to have, say, 5% equity of your company or 10% equity of your company. So here you have to understand whether you are ready to give your equity of the company to the other person. So understanding that, whether you want to go in for a venture capitalist is the individuals or the organization's choice as to whether they have to go about it. Then this is the entire system. Apart from all these finances, there is two things which the government does it. One is the Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana and the another is the Udyam Kranti. So these two things can be taken care of by the Government of India funding also, and they are non-collateral based. So you can always go in for a non-collateral based funding also, and also develop the things. So now I would like, because I've been talking now, I would like all of you to come up with your questions, because there is a less number of crowd today.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, what is Udyam Kranti?
Udyam Kranti is again a funding scheme wherein the funding is up to 1 crore rupees without collateral.
Without collateral.
But that the government of India says, well, without collateral, but the bank says, no, I need collateral.
That is the only challenge that.
Yeah, the bank will always ask for a collateral.
Government takes out schemes, but banks are not.
Yeah, because the account, when it goes to NP, it becomes a challenge.
So, Swati wants to know, how is Mudra scheme for women?
Mudra scheme is a good scheme for women, but Mudra right now is not much of a working is being done because banks are not promoting Mudra. Actually, in Madhya Pradesh, if I look at it, Mudra is reduced. It was up to 2 lakh rupees. They enhanced it to 5 lakh also, but Mudra is reduced a lot.
Vaishali wants to know, can entrepreneurs who are working from home can register for MSME?
Yes, they can. But then understand that they need to have a space that has to be shown as the space of working, a unit of working. They need to have an office address. They need to have a board. They need to have a setup of a unit there. Then NIPA also is asking, is it possible to have a government scheme backing? I am not a
taxpayer.
Yeah, it's not, no need to be a taxpayer for that. You don't have to be any taxpayer for getting funds or help. You're starting a business, you're homepreneurs. Any other question?
Any other questions from anyone?
I have a good question seen here. Can the house, okay, how do we register? I have already taken up. But if the landlord can give discount on electricity, the landlord's choice is individual's choice, whether he or she wants to give the electricity, but the discount is never given by the landlord. They will say to pay the full amount.
Ma'am, this was, I think, when you were saying that there is subsidy on electricity. So I think it comes as a reimbursement from government, or maybe a rebate on the next bill.
And the rebate on the same bill itself. On the every bill, there will be a rebate.
Okay.
Yeah, but the landlord doesn't give anything.
Ma'am, there's one company is also known as, and there's a sole proprietorship. So both have a difference. What's the difference?
Pardon?
One person company.
One person company and sole proprietorship.
See, one person company is that's a private limited company with a registration, ROC registration. Proprietary companies do not have a legal entity, whereas one person company, that is a private registered into the ROC, has a legal entity.
Okay.
So
like I run a cloud kitchen. So ma'am, which one should I register in? One person company or sole proprietorship?
If you're planning on a big way, it should be a private limited company, because then the liabilities do not come onto you. It is on the company. So it can be a one-person company, or you can take any family member as another director and have a private limited company. The expenses for registration are the same.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome, Rinku. There is one question as to third-party manufacturing is also allowed. No, third-party manufacturing is allowed when you're subletting an item to be produced, a part to be produced or all. But then it has to be under your banner. Swati says startup registration. Yes, that is the startup registration site.
Jayshree ma'am,
Yeah.
I had started as a sole proprietor. I mean, it's still a sole proprietorship company. But the other day, somebody was saying that maybe it's time that now, I could consider going as a private company also.
Yes, you should go in for Nisha as a private limited company, because as you are growing, the liabilities and the trust factor for a private limited company is higher than a proprietary company. Because when you go into exports and all, you will not be given preferences. You will be, it will be always the proprietary company, the secondary, the private limited company that will be given preferences, because it is registered in ROC. It's a Government of India's settlement. So it is a Government of India registration that a company is being registered under the Government of India. So the legal entities, and if there is any kind of a liability, it comes to the company and not to you as an individual.
So the process shouldn't be difficult, right? I mean,
No,
we
it's not
already have a-
difficult. You just have to check whether the name which you're there in the proprietary, that is available in the ROC, because getting the name is a big challenge.
Register of companies, you mean?
The same name.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
There's a question from Meeta ji.
Yeah.
Kitchen-
Cloud kitchen needs food quality is important. How to go about it? In the cloud kitchen, the food quality that is managed by your own team members, because it's the chef who keeps the material and the purchases what you do for the raw materials. That's how the quality is maintained. And for the quality in a kitchen base, it is the FSSAI license that is also important. For every cloud kitchen also, you need to have a FSSAI license. Any other question?
I think most of it is clear. Richa, you want to ask something?
No.
No, मुझे तो सब समझ आ गया ऐसे.
Actually, now when we will go on registration, then only we will have maybe more questions. Yes.
So I'll just
Because-
share my number. If anything is there, you can always get in touch with me.
Yes, ma'am. Because practically जब register करने जाते हैं तब problems आती है.
Bilkul. I've shared my number and my email ID. And my request to all of you is like some of the members like एक बार मुझे message कर दिया फिर भूल जाते हैं. So that the next day there will be like 100 of messages and that message is gone somewhere.
Gone down.
And I don't even, I'm not even able to answer it. So please, even if you daily message me, this is the problem, I don't mind it.
Right.
That's what happened. I spoke to one of the ladies. She had some doubt regarding the incubation and the new startups and all are designing and all. So she was like continuously messaging me. So one day while traveling back, I said, I have a free time and I gave her a call directly and I spoke at length to her.
Wow.
So that solved her problems also.
Wonderful.
Ma'am, one more question, like ISO and FSSAI both, so like we go for FSSAI also and ISO both?
Yes, both. FSSAI is important when you are into food business.
Yeah, I have a FSSAI license, but ISO.
Yeah, that is important. Without that, nothing works.
Yeah.
ISO is not a mandatory license.
It is not mandatory. It is your choice.
It's an additional, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's additional.
It's an additional.
Thank you.
Okay. So what is the next topic would like to have more?
If you open a small counter of takeaway,
Yeah.
then FSSAI is there, then ISO you have to keep, no, in that?
No, ISO is not mandatory. ISO is your choice.
What other you need to have? Because
For takeaways, FSSAI is the important. Then you need to have, if your takeaways are there, then you need to have a pollution license also, that you're not
Pollution
polluting the
license.
environment. Yeah.
yeah, because cooking is being done, so you need it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Jayshree ma'am, just
Yeah.
needed to know how important would ISO be for my business?
For your
I don't
business,
know
when
if
you're
it really
planning
helps
to
me, but
go
ISO
about into export range, ISO would help. But today ISO is just like a mere certificate.
I know, okay. I mean, like, we don't really have to, like, we don't have to really pursue
No.
it hard, right?
No. It's very easy to get and just a mere license certificate. That's all.
And one more query is there.
Yeah.
It's been long. Like suppose if I start a small venture of takeaway, it's in
Mhm.
process. So I need a loan for that.
Mhm.
I'll try my best to work it out. And if it doesn't work on well, the loan, it's difficult to pay off, then how it works for women.
See, any loan that has been taken up by from any place has to be repaid. You can, if it's a bank loan, you can go to the bank, ask for some time and tell them this is the challenges you're facing. You will be able to pay in there. But even within that stipulated time frame, you're not paying it, then your account, your CIBIL score, everything goes bad. Then further business becomes a challenge. So if from the very first day of taking a loan, you should be very particular about having a good credibility of returning the loan. That is the mandate.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, any special grants for women-based businesses by government?
No, it is only the interest rate and the subsidies that gets better.
No grants are there.
The grants, women grants are there, but then it is a big challenge. It is like easy ways out are going in for the banking.
Because grant you don't have to return in cases.
Yes.
Cases where
startups, there is a lot of grants coming up. Startups, there is a lot of grants.
Yes, for startup, it is very dicey. It's unpredictable.
Yes.
It's very unpredictable. It may go well also, and it's something new the venture is totally new. So it's a big risk. So you need to have a backup for it. It goes success and nothing looking back. But if there is a drawback, then you have to have a backup plan for it.
Very true.
For giving away your loans.
Yes.
Loan.
True.
Hello.
Yeah.
Ma'am, there is one more question on FDA and GMP. GMP certification and FDA.
The FDA and GMP is a big topic to cover today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that will have to take up in a very separate session.
Yeah, FDA is foreign direct.
Yes. Foreign investments.
So I think all the questions have been answered. Could be?
Yes.
Yes.
So what do you?
A very nice and informative session.
Thank you.
Karnataka team and whole cafe team. I would like to thank Jayshree ma'am. It is such a insightful session. We haven't done journey in this avenue till now. We are starting with this series. Thank you very much. And the session was so crisp. I think everyone has got the clarity. So thank you very much. Thank you, Nisha, for arranging this. Thank you, Kavita. Thank you, Bhavika, for this lovely platform as always.
Thank you so much, all the members.
Thank you, Jayshree ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we look forward to the next session and topic. What we'll do is we can do a poll in the group.
Yes.
And accordingly, on the interest level of members, what they want to know in MSME further, then we can take it up.
Done.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.